All right, all right. Hello,
Hey,
hello.
hey, y'all. Hey,
Good
Hey,
evening. Hello.
Hey
good
So we
everyone.
are
evening.
back with another week of When Our Girls Talk with myself, Lady Bird, Miss Yvette Renee, Don T, Miss Sharon, and Sunny Sunshine. Yes. So thank you guys for tuning in on this evening, no matter what platform you're watching from. Go ahead and say hello in the comments and in the chat so that we can respond and interact with you. We love to know who is watching. If you were here with us on last week, we were talking really so it was definitely weeks that was a great week. It was a great week, and shout out to everybody that's been tuning in and watching because last a huge milestone. We had over 11,000 total views as of last
Woo, yeah.
Wednesday.
Look at
So
God.
that is
all right.
amazing. So
Woo.
Yes.
that is definitely a huge
Yes,
milestone. Okay.
amazing.
Yes. And definitely amazing. All right. So tonight we have a couple topics. Of course, we have our normal segments that we're gonna do. We're gonna do our woman in black and spill letter. We're gonna talk about the
Hmm.
sexy man of the week. They don't let me tell y'all something. Sexy man of the week, little chocolate coming
Oh,
through. Um
mm.
and-
Bless.
yeah, so we got a lot to unpack tonight. So did anybody want to recap how they felt about last week before we jump into our first topic?
Um,
Girl,
yeah.
go ahead, Dawn.
Now I was gonna say last week was very, very deep, is what I want to say. Like after we got off, I was like, whew, that was a very cleansing talk we just had. But it felt good, right? Like, because we know that you have to release stuff so that it don't stay inside you. And that's how you heal, right? And so last week, I feel like we were on here healing each other and possibly maybe helping somebody else to start their healing journey. So, yeah, last week was a healing journey.
Hmm. Yes, it definitely was a healing journey. And it also felt good getting some things out. So,
Yes.
Yeah, it was definitely a release. It felt great and made me even more excited for today. So ready, ready, ready.
It was heavy, but it was needed and it was necessary. I believe that God actually placed that topic where it needed to be.
hmm
And, you know, sometimes that happens. And we just were, to me, we weren't even in this realm during that conversation.
yeah.
We were in a whole different realm. Like we were actually healing ourselves and healing others. So we were
Mm.
actually, I call it the anointed place. So that was just wonderful to be a part of that. And it definitely was spiritual, and I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Yes, I agree. I agree, ladies. So this first topic. So at first, let me tell you guys, this week we are going to be talking about career and money. I think that's something that's very important women to discuss because a lot of times women, if they're not in that independent mindset, they kind of feel dependent on their partner, their husband, to be the one that kind of controls the finances, brings in the money, and has the career. But we want to talk to women and let them know that these are things you can have independently on your own. Okay, so this first topic for tonight we want to talk about is women controlling more wealth in 2026 and financial independence and happiness. Okay. That's very important. I know, um, like Missy Vet Renee, she's had her businesses. A lot of us do some independent things on our own. I've had a business myself, and even now, I do quite a few things independently, and on my own. Even though I might work from home and I take calls from home. I do that as basically an independent contractor. I don't have I'm not mandatorily have to do it. I can set my own schedule. If it's work, I can work around that time and I can schedule when I'm available. So that puts kind of in that, independent category. But it's about also being happy while you're doing it. Sometimes people get caught up into that they're not necessarily happy about. They're just doing it because, it's going to help them do what they need to do. Yes, we want to be able to pay our bills. We want to be able to live comfortably. But if you're not happy while you're doing some of these things, then you really have to think about that, because I was doing a business. Don was one of my customers. Okay.
Listen,
I was doing
too much of a customer.
I was doing an independent. I was doing I was like a consultant, I'm not gonna say the company because I don't want them coming for me. Okay. But I was doing a jewelry business where I was like my own independent person. I had my own products. I would sell my products. Like I would come on live like I am now, and I would show my jewelry. People would shop with me. And it started out where I was kind of happy doing it. I was doing it, and then I started unraveling some things and paying attention to some things, and a lot of stuff happened. Of course, COVID started it pre-COVID, pushed through COVID, and post-COVID, a lot of things start taking place, and I just saw that this was not something I wanted to do anymore. And so I became unhappy, and I didn't want to do it, so I had to move away from that. And that was okay. That was okay. I started that business in 2017. In 2022, I was done. So I did it for quite a few years. And that's when I started finding, okay, I'm already saying I want to go to school to be a doctor. I want to go do this. I want to do that. And I was able to find a way to do my own independent thing in that type of field. So being an advocate and doing some of the things I was doing, I was able to take that business of being kind of like a consultant to people. I became a navigator that I had started going to school for and helping people and doing things like that. So yeah, there's ways to build that. And once I think another thing, and then I'm gonna let you guys talk too. When it comes to controlling your own wealth, that also goes hand in hand with understanding how to manage your money. Because if you don't understand how to manage your money, it's no matter how much wealth that you're bringing in, managing that money, just coming in and going out. It's like a revolving door. You want to understand what it means to save, to have, something to be able to retire on. Because even though you can be that financial independent person, you want to understand when it gets to a point where you work and you want to do certain things, you got to understand, how do I get to this place of being and not having to work? Because I see it. We see it every day if we go to work. We see the 65 and who cannot stay home. They can't stay home because they haven't successfully built that cushion up under them to be able to retire and not have to go into these places. So yes, you guys jump in. Let's talk about this.
I'm going to try to sum this up in 2 minutes. I know that's our time, but being a former business owner, I personally have not had to work a job since 2000. When I left Chicago and moved to Georgia, I opened an interior design business and a property management business. I started these businesses with no money. And I grew my property management business to managing over 300 single family homes. And I had 250 investors. And I grew my interior design business and my furniture business. And I never had a furniture store, but I was still selling furniture. So I've been an entrepreneur really my whole life. It's something that I learned from my parents because they own businesses. I would not suggest anyone else get into opening a business, especially a brick and mortar with no finances, because it's very hard. And I was a solo entrepreneur. I had no help other than the employees that I hired to work at my beauty supply stores when I moved to California. But it took a lot out of me health wise. My health deteriorated because I focused so much on the business. So there are a lot of aspects to being an entrepreneur, being a business owner. And first and foremost, you have to have a plan. I went into it with no plan. I'm just that type of person. I just jump into something. You have to have a plan. Um, Possibly a partner. I don't do well with partners because I'm very bossy. So, but finances, secure your finances, because when you're putting up your own money and you're trying to build something and you don't have finances, it is extremely hard. Okay.
So for me, I have an organization that I ended up putting under a LLC, but I don't sell anything. So I give back to the community, right? And in order to do that, like I had to pick up consulting jobs, right? Working for agencies that, I can use my lived experience, right? So sometimes, people don't realize that, an experience that you have, you can share that and get paid for it, right? So having speaking engagements and do facilitation of, groups and webinars and things like that. But you're right about finances. I remember when I first, had gotten myself together and I was working really good, making pretty decent money and doing the consultant, and I was building up a bank account for the first time. And, I had a credit card and everything was good. And I had saved up some money in the bank and I was so excited, and something fell through. And because I had never been taught budgeting, right? Instead of me leaving that money in the bank, I decided, well, since this didn't happen, I was just going to spend the money. And that happened like 2.5 years ago. And I have been trying to get back to where I was ever since then. When it comes to trying to build something, when you were never taught how to save, how to budget, how to, say, okay, no, I'm not, going to buy nothing for 6 months. I'm going to just let that money sit there. You don't know how to do it. And so I'm teaching myself now, right? And so I'm teaching myself to put some money to the side. And, I finally got a life insurance policy and all of these things that I never knew I'm trying to do now. But, unfortunately, in this economy, you have to have something extra. Even making a good 9-to-5 job, maybe you make $75,000 a year. In this economy, that's nothing. Even as being a single person, that is nothing. Rent is running $3,000. That's just your rent, right? So yeah, budgeting is a huge thing. And I feel like if you've never been taught it, there's classes that you can go to, to learn those things. So I definitely recommend that if you weren't taught budget and, how to save, go take a class, because it's important. Like both of the ladies said, to have something put away for a rainy day. Because thankfully, I have been able to have something, like when the car breaks down, I'm able to get my car fixed, right? I'm able to loan my children money, but I be wanting my money back. But it feels good to finally be in that place. But yeah, budgeting is huge. Even if you find you a side job, you have to learn how to put that money in the right place, or it's going to be for naught. Sonny, you know about that yet?
Yeah, so honestly, my mom, when I was growing up, she had us looking at bills and going over like what, because they have like graphs and stuff like that. So they go over each, portion of the graph and stuff like that. She taught us our social security number and like repeating it. We would do like little memory games and stuff to help our memory and stuff like that. So when I got older, it's like I had a pretty good idea as far as like bills and saving and things like that. But the only issue is when you're operating in a in a space of like you trying to hold on. Like with my mom, it was like you save for, because you're not sure if you're gonna need that money, and like you're expecting something to happen basically. And now that I'm older, it's like I don't want to be saving expecting something to happen. I want to be saving so I can invest, or saving. So just changing the energy around that, even though it's been helpful and it was a good stepping stone. It's like I got to change the energy a little bit, because it was a struggle type of energy, and it was like you gotta be on top of your bills, and I want you to know about this and saving money, because you get your tire flat, or your lights go out, or and it's like always in survival mode almost.
Yeah.
So it's like trying to get out of that and holding on. And my mom, I travel a lot, so my mom was really transparent with me not too long ago, and she was like, I wish I could really travel and not care about, not saying I don't care about money or nothing, but she just like, I have a balance, like I would spend my last on a trip and just have to make that up. And she had kids and everything, and it was her journey was a little bit different. So she's like proud of me in a way that I am using my money and using my time wisely. Financially, I'm responsible for the most part, but I have my hiccups. The speeding tickets was getting me, and the parking tickets, and that iPass. Personally, I don't feel like we got to pay that, because they were supposed to take them down. So if you really want to get into that, it was supposed to be like an experiment, and they just left them up, say we got to pay them. I don't like that. But yeah, little things like that. And what's another thing? Loans. Pay your loans. I got a loan thinking it was sweet. Pay your loans, y'all. Gotta pay your loans. Like your car note, it's a responsibility at the end of the day. Some things hit me, even though I was slightly prepared. I could pay a bill, but when that car note came and the insurance, I said, I gotta pay both of these. It is how much? And then you looking at my speeding record. Dang. So yeah, pay attention to all of that. I wish I could go back and just be like, set me up a payment plan. I'm paying it on time. And, I'll always keep a job, always keep some type of income, even when you don't. Because there's been times I haven't had a job, and I still was getting money, whether it's from my little dude or whatever, or you feel me, because I'm doing something on the side. Or maybe it's my last check, and I'm being responsible with it. And I'm putting out where I need to go and hoping it come back to me type thing. So it's a couple little things that I do, but just stay on top of your payment plans, be responsible, keep your credit up, pay that loan back, and and stop speeding. That's for me and you.
Yeah, I agree with everything Sunny said. I know me. My problem was I made a lot of money, and at such a young age, literally, I had a shopping addiction. And then also, when you make a lot of money, or even if you don't have a quarter to rub together, but you give the impression that you do, honey, people will be, hey, cuz, how you doing? I was just calling to see if I could get a $1,500. If you pause, they'll say, well, I can take 1,000. I can take 1,000. I can take whatever you got. You have to be careful of this. You have to realize that, you can't take care of everybody. You cannot be responsible for everybody and take care of everybody. Because if it come a day where you need them, you just need them. You own your very own. So but saving money is very, very important. And I always tell people, even if you try to be frugal chic, is what I call it. You frugal chic. So of course, you stepping out looking your best. You want to do that, but also be frugal with it. So maybe you take your trip, but the ensembles that you take with you came from Target. No, excuse me, Target. Although we're not shopping at Target right now, but Target or Walmart. So see, you frugal chic, and then you may have like a big purchase, but then you have your small purchase. See, jump out, pull back, jump out, pull back. And if you kind of have everything like that, and then I don't know about everybody else. Everybody else probably put it in their phone or their iPad or laptop or something. but I still write down stuff on paper because when I visualize it, when I can see these bills, back. Okay. And then like I said, you jump out, jump back in. So we're being frugal chic off of what we got on this paper. No more, no less. Because always remember that next month is coming and these very bills are going to repeat. And then if you add anything onto it, sometimes that can just, so you just have to be mindful. Have to be mindful. And then, like Sonny said, a sponsor doesn't hurt from time to time.
Hey, come on now. You know what else too, really quick? I think too, for me, because I didn't have a lot growing up, and even in my younger years, like in the 20s and early 30s, when I got the money, like what Miss Sharon said, I had a shopping addiction. Like I was buying up stuff, and I ain't gonna lie, I was trying to keep up with the Joneses, and the Joneses kept leaving me in the dust, but I kept trying to keep up with them. Right. I remember one time when I first got my first credit card in Lane Bryant, they gave me $2,000. Honey, I went in there and spent $700 of that in 10 minutes. Okay. Trying to keep up with the Joneses. Right. And so I was so happy when I got out that phase. And like you said, people thinking you got more than you got and asking you. And because you that nice person, right, you do it and then they keep coming back. And another thing, those stupid Klarnas and Affirms and PayPals and all that will get you. I ain't gonna lie, I use Affirm because when I'm ready to go on a trip, I'm not worried about it. I'm gonna book my trip and I'm gonna pay it off. But still, you keep adding on those different payments, that stuff catch up with you. So, I don't know, just I really wish that I was taught budgeting and saving and all of that, because I really believe that I would be in a different place right now, but I'm not in a bad place, right? For me, as long as I can, if my kids need me, I can be there. That's a huge thing for me today, right? So, or if my car breaks down, but I want to be able to not worry about the bills. Miss Sharon, I don't want to worry about next month because I know it's going to be there and I'm just going, I want to get to that point. I'm not saying I got to be a millionaire, but I want to be comfortable. So I'm going to keep chugging until I get there. But life.
I say financial freedom. Yeah, whatever that looks like for you. Financial freedom. That's, man. Another thing I was thinking about is if you can't buy it twice, just don't buy it. If it's gonna break your bank like that, just leave it alone. That's another thing. It's like I said earlier, it's a responsibility thing. But when I'm in the store, anybody that go to the store, I went to the store with a dude one time. Anyway, that was crazy, but I get what I need. I don't like leaving. All my friends know this. I don't like leaving not regretting I didn't get something. So I go in there with what I'm finna spend, and that might be more or less than the next person. It's up to me. It's what I got going on. And I just you budget that way. Like you gotta treat yourself, but don't let it be your last. And knowing me, if I'm at my last, I'm just not gonna go to the store. I'm not even gonna go to the bar. I'm not gonna window shop. I don't like window shop. I'll window shop online. That's another thing. Like if you don't have no money on your card and you window shop online, you better off. You probably won't spend nothing. You can still kind of look at stuff, see what's good stuff on it. That's another thing I do. But yeah, y'all, it's when I go shopping, it'd be. But I go and I get what I need. I try to write a list. That's another thing. Stay on top of what you need. Write a list, and but still treat yourself, but also within your means, within your budget. That's another thing I want to add.
Yeah, and I like what you said earlier, Sonny, too, about like learning how to do certain things when it comes financially. Because I think even though we are getting into this age where we're not really writing checks no more, I still feel like it's important for people to understand how to balance books, or to balance like a check, balance a checkbook, but not really a checkbook. You can still quote unquote do the balancing like if you had a check, because you're putting in what you're bringing in and what you're taking out, and this keeps you on track. Because honestly, even if you are not, like, say you don't have your phone, you don't have a computer, but you want to know, okay, exactly how much money do I have to spend? You can open that ledger and you can look and see, okay, well, this is my current balance. And that will keep you on track, especially keep you from overspending or help you with budgeting. And then Miss Sharon said something too, and I'm gonna have to think about it because I can't remember. What it was. Something Miss Sharon was saying about something along those same lines too. But it's just really, I feel like it's just budgeting is the biggest part about having that financial freedom, because once you understand how much you have to play with, like, you know, you want to go to Lane and Brian and spend $2,000 like Don did, then you know you have that you know, leverage to be able to go and do that. And, you know, or you don't. If you got to go, look, I saw my friend Terrence in his chat say sometimes you go to the rich neighborhood and hit up the thrift store. And that's true. I do. Listen, I am guilty of doing that. Hello. So sometimes you really have to understand and not live beyond your means. Yeah.
And stay out the
All right.
casino.
So
Stay out the casino.
man, listen, let me tell you something.
I had to ban
Don,
myself. I banned myself.
Let me tell you how bad. Let me tell you how bad the scratch out ticket machine made me keep my $20 today. This in my pocket, okay? I got cash back in the store because I was ready to put this in the machine when I left Walmart. And Walmart machine screen was completely black. I said, let me just put this on back in my pocket. Hey, it ain't meant for me to do it today.
You what you can't do for yourself. Absolutely. Absolutely.
But no, you're right. Stay out of the casino because some people have
I hate losing money.
Yeah, some people don't have
I can't do it. Like my family members, they like to beg casinos and they go to different states and go to can't wait to go to a casino. And then they're like, only bring as much as you're willing to lose. I'm not willing to lose a penny, so I'm not bringing nothing unless you finna put 20 in there for me and let me hit the button. I'm not. It's not coming out my pocket. I can't do it. It hurt my heart. $5 hurt my heart.
I've witnessed people do that. I've never done that, but I've witnessed people will go in there with their rent money. You know you gotta pay rent. Why you take all this rent money in a casino saying, "Oh, I'm about to triple and double it"? No, you about to go crying. That's what you feel. You better go cry in the car. No, it's not be like
looking stupid.
I've seen people do that. I've seen people do it with the online bingo. Because I used to run my own bingo house. And literally, baby, them people would be paying car payments, house payments, the daycare for the next 6 months. They bring that, and you be like, and you'll even say sometime, Miss Netta, I think you don't need to come back again. I would inbox. I think this need to be your last round. Oh, I'm all right, sis. Thank you for checking on me. And next thing you know, tomorrow, sis, you think you can? No, ma'am. The house don't lend money, and the house don't give you no type of, you got to pay every time. We don't do no credit in the house either. So you just in bad shape. You're in bad shape, and you put yourself in that shape.
Right. Yeah, no credit.
Did you see what your friend or somebody said about?
All right, so we're gonna move on to our Women in Black History moment.
Yes, be careful buying cars, ladies. That's for sure.
Yeah, definitely buying cars.
Oh, I know. It was a paragraph, child. I promise you I saw it, but that was like a dissertation. But we thank your comment. Look, no, what did it say? Let me stop.
Right, in summary. In summary,
So we have a comment, y'all.
the last thing they say, please don't go by yourself as a lady and do your research. I know that's right.
Honey, they'll mess you up, and especially
True. So
sometimes us
shout out
women.
Carmen.
Yeah, shout out to, it says Siri Carmen Nathaniel. I'm not sure what's the first last name.
That's
But
Carmen,
that is a
yeah.
true statement. If you're a woman and you go car shopping, you definitely want to not go alone. They will try to take advantage of you. And not even just car shopping, even when it comes to just the maintenance or things you need, they will try to take advantage of you. I work in automotive. I was a car sales, not a car sales rep, but I was a customer service rep for Sears Auto. They didn't need, and to I would, be the truth. I was being more truthful. Like, no, you don't do that. I'm not going to, you have to work with the customer, not take advantage of the customers, and that's what happens a lot.
Right.
But yeah, I read that comment though. Absolutely. All right, so we're gonna go in Black History moment. What's up? Shout out to everybody in the chat that's chatting. We got Kitty. We got Nate. Is it Nathaniel? Is it Carmen? Is that a husband and a wife sharing one Facebook page? Because they be doing. Oh,
That's
Carmen.
Her name's Carmen. Yeah.
She's faithful.
So what's the Nathaniel?
Faithfully every week, Miss Carmen. Faithfully every week.
Right? I mean, Miss Carmen been coming.
Miss Rita coming
Hey,
too.
Miss
Rita
Carmen.
coming every week. Hey, Rita.
Yep. Shout out
Can
to
we-
Miss
we not
Carmen. Shout
talking
out
to
to Rita.
If we not
I'm waiting to see
talking-
Renee in the chat. We're gonna see.
All right. So for this week, not this week, for this episode for our Black History, well, actually, yeah. We have Maxine Waters. Ain't her time, baby. Reclaiming my time.
Hey, yes.
That lady be
Listen,
having me.
play.
Listen, I have known about Maxine Waters probably my whole life. I've known some. At one point, I could have swore Maxine Waters was from Florida. Like, is she from Florida? Let me. I just feel like she
was
feel like a
from,
Floridian.
Alabama or something.
She from somewhere. Listen, she is amazing. So Maxine Waters is a powerful American Democrat politician serving as a U.S. representative for California's 43rd district since 1991. Okay, which was previously the 29th and 35th district. That's a like. She reminds me of one of the reps we had in Florida, Corrine Brown, who was able to hold her district for a really nice long period of time. She was also so as the first woman in Africa to chair the House Financial Services Committee. She is a prominent liberal voice advocating for housing, economic development, and minority rights. She was born in St. Louis, Missouri. She moved to Los Angeles since 1961, worked in Head Start, and earned a BA from California State University. She served in California's State Assembly from 1977 to 1991, becoming the first woman to serve as minority whip. She was elected to Congress in 1990. She has been reelected 17 times. And she is a former chair of the Congressional Black Caucus. Key initiatives for her include securing $10 billion in loan guarantees for development, championing the Minority AIDS Initiative, and advocating for debt relief for developing nations. She is married to Sidney Williams, the former U.S. ambassador for the Bahamas. And that, you guys, is Miss Maxine Waters. And why do I not have a picture of this lady up?
Oh,
and y'all ain't tell me.
I know she's gonna put it up afterwards. But you know what? She is. one thing I love about her, she don't hold her tongue. She gonna say what it is, and she not gonna, hold back. And I love that she don't play with this person. I don't say their name. And like she just made the comment yesterday that she was not watching nobody State of the Union. She said he could not take any time of my eyes for me to look
Oh,
at
she
it.
did.
Oh, yeah.
Because she don't
said-
play.
But
Let me,
we got a few good ones. She is one of the good ones, but
Yeah.
I know unfortunately she's up in age, so eventually she's gonna have to step down. And so I just pray that somebody that is as passionate and is caring and is really about the people fills her shoes.
I lived in LA for 13 years, and at any given moment, you can see Maxine Waters out in the trenches, and that's one of the many things that I love about her.
Absolutely. Yes, that's why I say I'm so used to him thinking like a kid growing up because I've heard so much about her. Like I'm thinking, okay, this lady is from Florida. I knew she was always doing things in California. Here's a picture of her that I'm putting up too. As a kid, I've always heard about her and all of the things that she's done.
Mm-hmm.
But at her older age, baby,
Auntie
she not
Maxine.
playing with. She not playing. Yeah, she not playing with them at all. She is not playing. She wants you to understand that she mean what she says. And and it's funny because when I think about some of the politicians now, like especially Jasmine Crockett. Jasmine Crockett, I believe, learned some stuff from Maxine
Oh, I
Waters.
love her.
She definitely has learned from Maxine Waters. I can almost guarantee it.
Yeah.
Oh, Carmen said Nate is my husband. Got it. See, I knew Carmen and her husband was sharing the same page. I knew it. All right, so that you guys is Miss Maxine Waters. Yes. So now what I wanted to do, I wanted to talk about usually we do like the celebrity news and gossip, but even like last week and even this week, we're on a couple more serious topics. So I didn't want to really go find like gossip news, but I wanted to bring some news to the forefront, some things that you guys might not know that's going on right now. So one of the first things I want to talk about is federal job losses. We have there have been an elimination of federal jobs where Black workers are disproportionately represented. And this has caused significant instability and it's impacting the Black middle class. So, recently the whole DEI stuff, there are so many corporations that are relieving people of their duties. And a lot of the people that are losing their jobs are Blacks and minorities. They're finding themselves unemployed. And some of them even going to file for unemployment and finding that these companies are not giving them.
We lost her. But
yes, we did.
Yeah, but it it's crazy that we are being affected so bad by that. And the federal jobs that they're taking away is the ones that are most needed, and the ones that we don't need is the ones that they keep in. So I'm so confused about that. Well, go ahead, Lady Bird. You have kind of
right. No, you're right.
Was talking about that, like you were saying, a lot of the people, the African American women and men who are losing their federal jobs, and this impacts me personally because I have several family members who work in the government. Two of them just went on ahead and retired. They were like, I'm close enough to retirement. I was leaving in August or I was leaving in September. I'm leaving now. I'm not even going to deal with it. Literally, a lot of the people that were hired, they weren't hired under DEI. Everybody knows who benefits the most from DEI. You can put it up and it'll tell you who benefits the most. And it's not African American people, period, that benefit the most from DEI. you know. So they literally are taking people's job who quote unquote earned it. You know, I feel like if they hired you, earned it. But I'm just saying, you know how they quote unquote earned their job. DEI didn't get them that position, but they're just snatching it away because of the color of skin. And that's horrific. That's literally horrific. But that's where we are.
Right. And I'm noticing too, just to add, we're also a lot of blacks are losing their jobs to AI. I'm so sick of AI. Let me tell you, I'm so sick of AI. AI is taking over. AI is trying to do the job for everybody in every position. Like, I kid you not, the company that I am doing work, they use AI for call audits. Like when we take phone calls, you know, usually you'll have somebody that'll audit the calls for you by, you know, and grade you, make sure you're doing your job. Oh, his name's Steven. Steven AI is doing the job. Not even a person anymore. So a lot of these positions are definitely being taken away by AI for sure. And then another thing I wanted to highlight was the rising home ownership gap. So there was an article with Washington Post that highlighted that the black home ownership is
Before you
stagnant.
finish, Sharon, can you mute my love?
Yeah, so the black home ownership rate it remains stagnant. It's lagging significantly behind white home ownership with a nearly 30% point gap. This is like for somebody. So I've not yet been a first time homeowner. I'm hoping to be that within this next 5 years. That's the goal. So to see that is as stagnant as it is, it's kind of not gonna say discouraging, but it's kind of like, man, you know, and I do see that because I remember, I guess I'm a little old. If I can remember when a starter home was like 90 to 110,000, like that was an average starter home in the 90s. You could go and buy a new home or a decent home for that much. Now, if you want a nice, decent home, a nice size home, you don't want to be stacked on top of the next person, you're almost looking at half a million. $400,000 to $500,000 for a really nice, decent home, and that's really anywhere in the country. You know, of course, the more rural it is, it may be, you know, less. You can get maybe 100,000, 200,000, but it's almost up there now. So,
And if you live in California,
oh yeah, if you're in California,
over $1 million.
Man, and that is crazy because think
That's
about it.
That'll be a 2-bedroom. That ain't even a whole 4 or 5 bedroom house. That's a 2-bedroom house.
Yeah.
Right. Because housing, like all of these things are increasing, but the amount of pay is not increasing. They're not wanting to pay what we need to live. I'm hearing people like you know, some people I've seen where some people say, "Oh, I'm looking for somewhere to see, but I don't need a roommate." It's getting to the point people are like well into adulthood need roommates to sustain paying the rent, paying the light, water, and all the things that go along with it. Plus car insurance if they have their own transportation. It's like no one person is really becoming able to do this alone. I had a friend in Cal. Oh, you know, and remember, you know, Andy, our friend Don. You know Andy, right? Andy Feds. I don't know. You might, yeah. Andy lives in Vegas.
I do, yeah.
And I remember at one point, he was living in Vegas, and at one point, he had to have 2 roommates. It was him and 2 other roommates just to be able to pay the rent for what they needed to pay in Vegas. There was no way that one person would be able to do it alone. And that was crazy. I was like, what? You know,
they
so
just
it's definitely
they just had a on CBS, they had a segment, Lady Bird, about older people having to get roommates, and both of them still working even though they were retired, maybe getting their pension and their SSI, and they could not afford to live alone. And the guy who said, he said, I would have never thought at 79 I had to get a roommate so that I could stay into my house. He said, I had to get a roommate, him and another older guy. And they were saying, like you said, this has become a huge thing. And, when we circle back to our community, right? If you remember back in the days, I'm older too. We kind of took care of each other as a family, right? Like if you needed somewhere to stay, you could come till you got on your feet. And, like we didn't really, my aunt, they didn't really pressure you, right, about the money and stuff. That's not happening now. And we're pushing our kids out too early. And I'm gonna say I did it. I pushed mine right on out the door. Goodbye, get out. And I wish I didn't. I mean, thankfully, they all have their own apartments. They're all working. They all have kids and they're managing the best that they can. But, it's just a different day. But you can barely live on your own. And, then when you start trying to, be out here living it up like you got it going on, like you be homeless trying to have it going on.
Right. Yeah. And then too, I think that's why a lot of Blacks are choosing to relocate to other countries. I know a lot of people that are actually, I hate to say it, they're going back to Africa. They literally going back. I know a lot of people that are going to Nigeria and going to a lot of places because for what we're paying here in the United States, you can go over there and almost live like a celebrity. Like you can buy the biggest property at home, for the amount that they're paying here. I know a lot of people are going to Thailand. A lot of them are going to a lot of these other countries because it's more cost efficient for them. And my oldest daughter says it's cheaper for her to travel than to stay in one spot because she travels all over the world. And it's cheaper for her to actually just travel and go to these different countries. And she's exploring than to just stay in one spot. Plus, she get bored when she stay in one spot too long anyway.
Then you got older people that instead of renting an apartment or keeping a home, they travel for the full year on cruises. They say it's so much cheaper to do cruises all year long. They get free food. You know what I mean? They're like, for what we pay for these cruises and we travel in the country and we don't have to worry about maintenance. We ain't got to worry about rent. All we got to do is pay our cruise fee and we're fed for 7 days or 30 days. They take like these 30-day cruises that take them everywhere. And I'm like, it's crazy that that's how we live it.
I know some people that do that as well. I don't want to be on water. So I like being on land.
But one day, if ever, Nate, we're gonna get you on that boat.
I know we gonna get us. So another thing I wanted to highlight is they released the 2026 Money Matters list, which is the Forbes Black 50. This is recognizing 50 Black professionals making strides in business. Now, we wanted to highlight our 9 women are on this list. Okay, so I wanted to quick and hire as chair 100 after being and CEO. Wow. That's a huge accomplishment right there. Because y'all know what Xerox is, right? Yes. And she was one of the 50 women named the 2018 World's Top 50 Women in Tech list. She's got quite a few accolades.
Oh, yes.
The next one Black woman we want to mention, Tisha Cash. She's the founder or partner and Impact America Fund. She started her career on Wall Street and later earned an MBA from Columbia University. She's recognized for identifying overlooked opportunities and supporting founders serving underserved communities. Her Impact America Fund invests primarily in funding prior to Series B with check sizes up to $3 million. Oh, they're really giving out some funding, huh? We have Sharice Clark, who is the founder and CEO of Harborview Equity Partners. And let's see. She began her career in finances as an intern at Morgan Stanley and became a managing director in 2009. Let's see. Our next young lady
Are all
is
these
going
women
to
still
be
living?
Melody High.
Yes.
No, I said, are all these women still
Alternatives.
living?
Yes. This is the new
Yes,
list.
absolutely.
Oh, okay.
This is the 2026 list. Yes.
Right.
So she started let's see. She joined Ariel in 1991 after graduating from Princeton University and spent nearly 2 decades as president before being named co-CEO. Let's see. She also let's see what else I saw here for her. She is also in her 4th year as an owner of the Denver Broncos as part of the Walton Penner Family Ownership Group. Okay, go Broncos.
Hey.
We could have had this Super Bowl. We almost had a Super Bowl.
We stopped that.
And then we have Tammy Jones, the co-founder and CEO of Basis Investment Group. Jones has more than 25 years of experience in investing and financial commercial. She is the daughter of jazz musician Al Lucas, a bass player who played with the likes of saxophonist Dexter Gordon. Despite her exposure in the arts, investing was her real passion, and she co-founded Basis Investment Group in 2009. Let's see who we have next. We have Stacy Brown Philpott, she's the founder of Managing Partner and Cherry Rock Capital. Let's see. She started out in investment banking at Goldman Sachs in 1999, then earned her MBA from Stanford University. After that, she joined Google as a director of sales. Later, she became CEO of TaskRabbit, where she expanded the company to over 100 markets before it was acquired by IKEA in 2017. And she joined the investment committee for SoftBank's Open Opportunity Fund, a $100 million venture fund supporting Black and Latino founders until SoftBank sold it in 2023. That same year, she started Cherry Rock Capital, which is a venture capital firm that invests in early stage companies and underserved founders. Okay, I like that.
Hey.
And then we have Miss Joanne Price. Miss Joanne Price is the co-founder of Fairview Capital Partners. She co-founded Fairview Capital Partners in 1994 and has grown into one of the largest minority-owned venture capital and private equity firms in the world. A Forbes 50 over 50 lister in 2023. And she actually grew up in North Wales, which is about 20 miles from Philly, and graduated from Howard University in 1971. Yes. Let's see here.
And don't forget,
then
last but
going
not
down
least,
here to let me see. We have a couple more. So we have Jewel Burke Solomon, who is the co-founder of Managing Marker and Collab Capital. and she is also a Howard alumni. And she co-leads Collab Capital, which is a venture capital firm investing in underrepresented founders. The firm has backed startups including Hairbrella and Spark Change, a mobile electronic vehicle charging company. In 2024, Spark Charge was valued at $221 million, according to PitchBook data. Wow, that's amazing.
Mhm.
And we could have had it. And then last but not least, look, this is what Missy Beth said. Don't forget, last but not least,
Don't
the one and
forget.
only Serena Williams. She is the founder of Serena Ventures. Of course, we know her, girl. She be out there
Mhm.
hitting those tennis balls. She founded Serena Ventures firm in 2014, which focuses on female entrepreneurs and founders from underrepresented. She retired from tennis in 2022 after having won 23 Grand Slams in singles competition and becoming the highest paid female athlete in the world. A 50 lister in 2024, Williams is also ranked number 11 on the Forbes America's Most Powerful Women in Sports. So those are our 9 ladies that we wanted to highlight for that Forbes Black 50. And also to everyone else that is on that list. There are some other amazing people on that list. I saw Jay-Z on there. I saw Robert. Who else did I see on here?
Lots of amazing.
I saw Taurus
people.
Richardson, Andre Rice. Yes, lots of other amazing people are on this list. So if you get a chance, take a look at that list. Actually, this list is very important for people that are business owners because, again, did you notice what I said? These are people who invest. Investors are very important for your businesses. Okay, for sure.
Yes.
All right, so let's go into our next topic, and this kind of leads us into our next topic too: side hustlers and business ideas for women. Some are low cost. And we're going to talk about some flexible ways to create income streams. So a side hustle is always good. Listen, you may think that your hobby is the quirkiest thing in the world, but guess what? Your hobby could be making you money right now.
Mm-hmm.
If you crochet, I have a friend who I can only do, I can't even do a granny square. I do snakes all day long because I can't get it to turn and make a granny square to save my life. However, my friend can make she make whole outfits, sweaters, hats, scarves, all kind of stuff. And she turned that hobby into a business. And now she sells these crochet pieces. So if there is something that you have an expertise in, that can become a side hustle and business for you. You know, you want to, when you're thinking about these things, you want to take into consideration the cost for sure. That's why we said low cost ways, because you want to know your spending. You want to know how much money you're going to be putting out and the possibility of how much you're going to be bringing in. And you want to make sure that's a good balance for you. Because if you're spending more than you're making, then we got to figure something else out. We can't have that. So yeah, and there's so many different things. I think about people who started out doing hair at home in the kitchen, and they say, you know what? And they decided to take that close step to go to cosmetology school, get that license, and now they have a licensed business where they are a licensed beautician, and they can do your hair. Turn that into a business. And if I'm not gonna program, you can even earn scholarships and loans to help you through that journey that aren't that much, but there are options for people to do that. Some other side hustles. Now I'm gonna tell y'all, listen, because I done been there, done that. Please, the biggest thing I try to warn people about is to not get caught up into some of these businesses that tell you that you're your own boss, you're on your own this and that, and they
Mhm.
end up being some type of pyramid scheme or one of those types of businesses. You want to avoid those because it's just going to take you down the wrong rabbit hole. It really
Yeah.
is. And you're going to end up spending more than you're earning. So did anybody else want to jump in on that with some ideas
Yeah.
and ways that people can earn?
You know, I started out selling when I moved to California, selling hair bundles, just selling them on Facebook. I took that and I saved, I was living with this guy, so I had no bills to pay. I took every penny that I made from selling hair bundles and I opened a hair boutique. From that, I opened beauty supply stores. And, you know, as I've mentioned before, I owned 6 when I lived in California and 1 in Texas. So that's how I started out, but I sacrificed living with somebody I didn't like. But anyway, you know, I sacrificed. So and there are so many side hustles, you know, selling insurance, travel agent, so many side hustles for women. I have a friend that I met on Facebook, Evelyn, and she's awesome with her creations, you know. And she'll set up a little table outside or different events. So there are so many side hustles that you can do, especially if you have a craft, you know. If you have an idea, you know. So there's a lot of side hustles.
I remember my niece was looking to do something, and for me, I'm not creative. That's God didn't bless me with that gene. I don't like putting nothing together. I can barely do a vision board. But my niece, she decided to start making these bouquets, right? She would go get a vase. And whatever you wanted on the outside of that vase, if it was a picture, if it was a design, whatever she does to make that vase into what it is, she does. And whatever you want the roses to be, she makes them. Maybe you want them to be liquor. Maybe you want them to be candy. Maybe you want them to be money. Whatever you want, she creates all these different kind of vases. Like she made me some vases for my women's organization that I put on my table. So she took that up. And then, during COVID, a lot of people started selling purses and selling jewelry and some of them continue to do that, right? Selling clothes. My daughter, she started out just locking my grandson's hair. Now she locks other people's hair because she realized she does such a good job and people seen how she had taken care of my grandson's hair. And so now she does that. And Lady Bird said, doing hair and then went to cosmetology school. It don't even have to be, you have to go that next step. You can, the girl that does my nails, she's a teenager. Her mom and them invested in her and she got a room where she got a setup and I go and get my nails done. And she's never had professional training, but she started practicing and my nails look really good all the time. So it's like you said, Renee, you have to sacrifice, right? Like if it's something that you really want to do and you got a passion for it and you can sacrifice, because sometimes it takes a little while before you start seeing the profit out of something. If you can stick it out and it's something you really enjoy and like, yeah, you can do it. And anything I think can turn into something that you can make money out of, because it's going to always be somebody somewhere that wants whatever it is that you can produce, right? Like, you just have to market it, right? And then that's another thing. You have to know how to market and, keep your prices where you're not head cracking. One thing I can't say, and this last thing I'm gonna say, one thing I do not like about somebody is if they selling something and they say inbox me for the price. Why everybody can't know the price? You gonna charge something and charge somebody else something different? No. If you selling something, put the price so everybody know how much it is. But they'll get to talking about inbox me for prices. I'm gonna inbox you right off your page. Bye.
Right.
Come on, Sonny. You've been quiet.
some you see jumping right in. You right there with me, dog. You already know. Something I am kind of getting into is vending machines. So far it's about location, setting up a good rapport with wherever you're trying to put your vending machine. Um, a working vending machine. Also one that has like a card reader on it because people don't like carry too much cash and stuff like that anymore. Because I've seen a few that don't have it and it's like going the extra mile and like putting it on there. Because you'll miss out on so much not doing that.
Yeah.
LLC is something else I'm going after right now as well. And then I have like a couple investors too. So get a plan, and I mean, that's what I'm doing. I kind of set up a plan, even though I don't know what I'm doing for real. I really don't know what I'm doing, but I know I'm doing a little bit. TikTok will help you too. TikTok University, that's another thing. Cause me, it's like, I'll like learn and don't like overload yourself. That's something I'm trying to, because starting a business, it takes a lot. Like Yvette said, it's not about, she wouldn't recommend just jumping in with both feet and, no finances and this and that. So it's like, you also don't want to overwhelm yourself with too much information either. That's something I'm kind of dealing with. It's like I do it step by step. I'm like, okay, I want to get my LLC. What I do to do that? Look into it. Then I make that first step, make that first payment or whatever, and then I go back. Not do everything at one time. You take it step by step, learn step by step. But yeah, that's one thing. And then with vending machines, you could do multiple different. You could do lashes. You could do nails. If you are a nail tech, you could put your own press-ons in there. I'm not like creative like that either, Dawn. Like I have stuff, but people be getting me little creative stuff and I'm like, that's just gonna sit there. I might have to get that. My grandma just got me a whole like nail thing. I'm like, I got somebody that do these, honey. I don't, I might do my toe or something. I don't know. But I want to get into lashes as well, like individual lashes and things like that. That's something that is big in my generation. It's just entrepreneurship overall. I mean, we're booming right now and I'm trying to jump on that. But I'm also following kind of because I don't want to get into something and put all my hard work into something, all my money into something I'm not as passionate about. So that's another thing. It's like, even if you take that risk, it's going to be worth it because it's something you're passionate about. That can always help you when you're having these fallout times or, you down on your luck or something fell through. You got to remember what you started it for in the first place. And another thing, last thing I'm going to say is having that vision in your mind. You got to remember why you started doing what you wanted to do, this process or whatever. And like Dawn said, not everybody's good at a vision board, but write your thoughts down, put it on paper. I'm trying to get into like record. I got my little handy dandy watch down, so I record things here and there in my voice memos, but I really prefer writing as well. It's just I'm always on the go, so I've been utilizing that. But I recommend writing things out, see it on a piece of paper. You can go back to it when you go back to it in a month or so and see how far you come. Like I recommend writing all your dreams and your inspirations down and your motivations. And when you feel it and you're in that mode, and then a month later, 2 months later, you're not in that mode no more, that's something you can go back and read. And it's yourself talking to yourself essentially. So it should get you back into the mood of, okay, I gotta get back on my grind. I know what I'm here to do type thing. So that's what I've been doing, and hopefully I've been looking into some locations and talking to some people. So I'm really excited to be starting that up.
Awesome.
Yeah, and that's a good idea too. Yes, and I listen. You made me think about it. I remember seeing, because you said it's so many things with vending machines. We had a lady at the mall in Jacksonville that had a vending machine with cake slices in it. I was like, I never saw. I was like, wait. And she would come every morning and throughout the day and reload it with fresh baked goods. Now the downside was every now and then a little cake box got stuck. So then nobody could get cake. So that was like the downside to it. But it was me seeing it, I'm like, I would have never thought of that. That was a great idea. So yeah, I like that vending machine idea. And even ATM machines. That's another venture that I'm noticing a lot of people. I actually have a lady that I know we call her the ATM queen because she owns hundreds of ATMs throughout the state of Florida and other states, and she shows and teaches other people how to have their own ATM. So that's another thing that you made me think of too when you mentioned the vending. So yeah, did you want to add something, Ms. Sharon? You got to
Just
there you go.
I said, but somebody in the comments said that, yeah, we have had a little bit of lag tonight. Push through, just like in life and anything else. When you have an obstacle come up, you don't stop, you don't get deterred, you just push through.
Push through. Keep it going.
Keep it going. But yeah, I really,
and Malik, we ain't asked you, Malik. We ain't I'm messing with Malik. Malik, just sit back and watch. We ain't asked you. All right, so we're gonna move into our next segment, which is sip and spill. I don't look. I'm over here sipping before I need to sip. Look how much I got left. That's a shame. It's a shame.
No, me too. It's one of them days.
So who we got water? I know Don probably got some water tonight. Miss Sharon, you got water. You got something else. Oh, Miss Sharon,
I got a Seagram.
A Seagram's ginger ale or Seagram's. A Seagram's libation. I know Miss Yvette.
Okay.
Like she don't have no libations over there.
Girl, I got my white cran strawberry ocean spray.
Oh, that tastes
I know that's right.
And I got the mango. What is this? The mango Minute Maid. That's what this is. Mango Minute Maid. Okay. All right. So, dear Sip and Spill host, I'm writing anonymously because I don't want my husband to know I'm reaching out. But I am desperately in need of some outside perspective on our finances in marriage. We've been married for 1.5 years, and while we love each other deeply, money has become a constant source of tension. I handle most of the day-to-day budgeting, the bills, savings, because I'm more organized with it. But my husband tends to spend impulsively, whether it's on hobbies, going out with friends, or treat yourself moments. That adds up quickly. He brings in good money, but it feels like his spending cancels out a lot of my efforts to build our future. We're trying to have a house fund, kids savings, retirement. I'm talking about joint accounts or setting budgets together, but he gets defensive and says I'm controlling or I don't trust him. I don't want to be the money police, but I'm starting to resent it. And it's affecting our intimacy and trust. I feel stuck between keeping the peace by staying quiet and protecting our financial stability by pushing harder. How do I approach this without it turning into fights? Should we separate finances completely, or is there a way to compromise that doesn't make one person feel controlled? Any advice on how to have the money talk in marriage without it blowing up would mean the world to me. Thank you for being a safe space to spill this. Sincerely, a struggling wife. Oh, child, listen. I feel like it's always important to have the conversation. It's gonna always be money. Money is like what they say. Money can be the root of all evil. Sometimes,
Yes.
Money is one of those conversations. It's hard to talk about because, again, like she mentioned in the letter, control. Somebody's gonna feel like you're being controlling, but you got to have the conversation, especially in marriage, because if you're trying to do something as a union, you're trying to come together as one. You want to make sure that you're understanding how you're going to manage those finances in marriage. Or even, and I'm not going to necessarily just say a marriage, even if you're in a committed relationship that has longevity. We got some people that's been together for 10 years and they ain't even married. They not a common law. However, it still matters when you are looking at the longevity of things. You want to know how this money is going. You mentioned something about, a kids fund, a house fund, savings and retirement, things like that. Yeah, that's what you want to look at because you don't want to have kids and then when it's time for them to graduate. You don't have a plan for them going into college. You know, I think that's one of the things I do like now. I honestly, when I was a teen graduate high school, I don't remember a lot of these things they offer now as some of the things that, like, I don't remember what do they call it, like the college funds that some of the states are offering kids that the parents can enroll in and pay so much a month and it goes into their college fund. I know they do it in Florida. So it's like to be able to take some money from that paycheck, put it in this, and to save it, or even a house. We were just talking about how the housing market is for Blacks now. So that's one of the things you want to also look at. Having money set aside that's going into that house fund. Put together a plan. If you know that you want to own your own house within X amount of years, you want to try to calculate how much do I need to put aside in this fund. Do that as a union. Talk about it together so that everybody's on the same page. So that if he does have that spending habit, like she said, her husband has this spending habit and he want to go spend. Listen, here go your fund account over here. He want a fund account. Let's put your fund account over here. Put an X amount in there. So when your fund account is empty, you guess what? Don't come over here asking, babe, can I get a little? No, your fund account empty. Well, I guess you gotta wait till you replenish that fund account. You know, no, we're not different in none of these other accounts. But you gotta have that conversation, and have that money talk. It's gonna make a big difference. Anybody else?
I think from
And
past
actually,
experience,
you should have had that talk before you got married. Before, when you're like in the dating process and getting to know a person, that's one of the things to get to know how they spend. Do they save money? What's their idea? Do you think we count, or should we have an account for bills, home, and things of that nature? Or you have an account and I have an account, and then we have an account for bills of their home. And a lot of times it's best to even have an account for like extra in case something happens. The motor blows up out of the car. We want to go on a vacation, so it's good to have like a fourth account for that type of thing, because in life, you know, anything might happen. We can't just say, oh, this. Sometimes unexpected happens. So it's good to have that. But those are things that need to be discussed before you commit yourself to a person and get married. Because it's terrible to marry somebody and find out that they don't have an affinity for work. They don't have an affinity for saving into any type of money. They just want to spend. You wouldn't want to find out about a person when you marry them. So those are things that you need kind of have them mapped out. And I say put that on paper too, so you can look at it and see, and also allow them to look at it and see. Because I'm big on that. Because like I said, you don't want to get into a committed situation with somebody, because when you marry a person, y'all pretty much own each other. Y'all own each other's, y'all own each other's good, y'all own each other's bad. So you really need to be careful with that. And I feel like I already have that mapped out and planned out before you get married. But if you happen to have already done that, then you need to, just maybe cook a nice dinner and say, honey, I need to talk to you about something that's important. I don't want us to fall out about it, because this is going to be beneficial for you and I. And we are a team, and a team needs to be on the same. I love you so. And then go into what you need to discuss. When you get everything situated, and have it written down so they can see. Sometimes when people see, God, I'm bringing my whole check home, but then I'm taking the debit card and pulling the whole right back out. Sometimes if they can see it on paper, it'll click in their brain. Now, not always, but sometimes it will. So yeah, that's what I would do.
Yeah, I agree. Another reason why I stay single.
yeah, but I think everybody kind of hit it on the head. And past experience, not having that conversation before,
Yeah.
or even knowing what that person's spending habits are, and not having communication in the beginning. Because I mean, I'm gonna be honest, when I got married the second time, wasn't this my money? And you got your money, this is my money, and we not having no shared bank account because you're not touching my money.
Mm,
And you keep your money where it's at, and we pay the bills. You pay whatever bill we agree on, and I pay this. But in a way that was bad, right? Like, because it was like secrets, because I was working,
mhm.
doing some extra stuff, right? And I wasn't telling them exactly. They never knew how much I made on my real job or even on my side stuff. And when I look back on it, I feel bad, because maybe if they felt a little secure in me not holding on so tight, but I guess maybe I was feeling like they not making what I'm making, so why am I telling them what I'm making? Because they might want my money. But again, I think you have to go into something as a partnership. So I mean, if you at that point now, y'all already married, y'all starting to have money issues, like Miss Sharon said, you're gonna have to have that hard conversation. And yes, he might get mad. And yes, it may not turn out good. Maybe y'all end up breaking up behind this. And I don't wish that, but I'm just saying, if you don't have the conversation, it's just gonna get worse and worse and worse. And you may get dug into a place where you can't dig yourself back out. So you're gonna have to have that hard conversation, whether it's over a good dinner, like Miss Sharon said, or just coming straight out and saying what it is, and
Mhm.
having the conversation and being honest. Because if not, it can, be in a bad place, and you don't want to go down that road where you
Exactly.
come
Yeah.
home and you ain't got no home because they done mortgaged your house.
Hey, you're homeless. Yeah, because you made me think of something too, Don, and I put it in the chat. Sometimes they lie. That's why I put, listen,
Mhm.
no, let's see what's on your credit report, because I need to know who you owe, how much you owe, and how long you've owed them. I need to know all of it.
Right.
Child support.
Ooh.
I had a
Yes, because
friend did not
because
know
they'll
that
go
her
into
husband owed $82,000 in child
Mm.
support. And
and
that
they will
first
garnish
year they
the
filed
new.
taxes together and snatched all that money. And they snatched
Yep,
it for the next 9 years.
yep, they will
Because
garnish
now
the
you owe
spouse.
that child support.
Yep.
We filing separate, sir.
Mhm. Mhm.
Mary filed it separately.
But it comes back to the communication, Lady Bird, right? People are not talking before they do
Yeah.
anything. They not really talking before they get married. They ain't talking before they have sex. They ain't talking before they really move in. They really not getting to know
Yeah.
people. People are, oh, I'm in love. Oh, they seem so nice. It seemed like this. It seemed like that. No, you got to really take the time to get to know a person, because at the end of the day, a person will show you what they think you want to see. And
Yeah.
I've been in those
Right.
situations. So especially when it comes to money, you can end friendship, family ship, marriage ship, everything over some money. Money
Right.
will end anything. That's why I don't loan out nothing that I can't afford to lose.
Mhm.
Because
I always say get to know their finances, their credit, and their family.
oh yeah, because if a person, if I'm gonna say a man don't treat his mama well, baby, what you think he gonna do to you? If
Mhm.
you see that he couldn't, his mama talking about he owed me this and owed me that and ain't never been, baby, he about to tear your account up,
Mhm.
or she about to tear it up. Because let's not totally always blame the men. You got
Right.
women
Right.
that go into relationships and they try to run through these men's pockets. They ain't bringing nothing to the table. They just want to be cute. And all they want is gimme, 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 gimme. And then when
Yeah.
that man ain't got it no more, now they trying to be
Mhm.
gone. So it's on
Mhm.
both ends. I don't want to sit up here
Both
trying to beat up
ends.
no
Yeah.
man. Women do it too.
Mhm.
So everybody, you need to take the time to get to know a person's finances before you go running, moving somebody in your house. Because we know nowadays you let them in your house more than 2 weeks, they there. You can't put them out.
Yep. Mhm.
And if they know the law, they ain't going. So
Yeah.
Yeah, I vote separate bank accounts, because I expect to make a lot of money coming up in my life. I'm gonna come into millions. So it's like I don't need you all over my girl. And I mean, it's not nothing to hide either. It's if you want to know something, you can know something. You know, if you want to see what I'm doing with my money, you can see what I'm doing. But as far as like, oh, we both have, and I don't see that. It's like I can see how that's an argument, but if you got an emotionally intelligent man, an intelligent man, a logical man, it's like they're gonna see what you're trying to say. Like it has nothing to do with I don't want you part of. You know,
Right.
I feel like you're gonna take it, or I feel like you're gonna be controlling, or you guys have that conversation and you say where you're coming from, and then it's received, and then that should be it. You know, and like I don't remember who said it, but someone was like, if you fall out after that, I think it was Don. If you fall out after that, that's just what it is. You know, because that's money ain't no joke. You got generational wealth, you know, you got assets, you got investments. It's money, not no joke. So I feel like that's something, and it's a partnership at the end of the day as well. You got to remember that. So y'all, well, I don't know if you ever been married before or whatever, but if this is your first marriage, it's like this your first time being married. You know what I mean? Like you've been living single your whole life. So now that you guys are a union and you're a partnership, it's like everything's gonna be new again. It's almost like born over. Now you got this partner that live in the same house as you, is snorting ear at night. You know, like how you dealing? You know, what you gonna do with that? Day by day is gonna be different than what it used to be when you was single and y'all just gotta tackle it together because it's a partnership. It was supposed to be for better or for worse. Um, and y'all supposed to be partners through life, not just in the bed, or not just when things are good, or not just, you know, when it's convenient. Is every single day y'all got to choose each other,
Right.
and anything that comes up y'all should be able to talk about, especially finances.
Exactly.
Yes. Look at our little baby over there. She's smart. She is
She
smart.
is.
You better go ahead,
I
girl.
love it. Yes. Ain't nobody gonna pull nothing over on Miss Sunny, okay?
Not
Try
Did
at
you
to
see what
all.
debunk
Mr. Burgess, I'm assuming that's your dad, said, that's right.
that is
I'm
not
glad
my
you all
dad.
said, oh, sorry. I'm glad you all said that women do the same thing.
That is not my
Oh,
dad.
remember
But
Yeah,
when
he,
you
women,
said,
you know, women do their big one. I'm not gonna hold you. Everybody, it's a character flaw sometimes.
Yes.
Some people, it's just like that's what people go after when they dating somebody, or you know, that's how they date people, to see what you can fulfill, what you can do for me, and you know, get one over on the next person. And you gotta look out for those people. For me, like I look at, cause I don't want to, you know, when it comes to like gambling and all that, like that's obvious. Like, you know, like they can't really hide that. So it's like if you get a hint of that, that's it. Like Dawn said, that pink flag, I'm out of there. You know, cause
see,
it
and
already seemed like you not, you know, and I would hate for it to bring my money in the mix and you think it's your money too, and you could just go blow
Right.
that. No,
Right.
no, 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 no. And I could have just said no right then and there. You know, but women do definitely have tactics, I'll say. They do
Mhm.
be having tactics, and we all need to do better. Overall, we all need to do better. We all need to learn financial literacy. We all need to be able to trust each other better when it comes to partners and stuff like that. And it's gonna be hard, but with conversations like this, you know, like maybe it'll ease up, and then we'll all have financial literacy and we'll all be able to get through it. So we'll see.
communication,
We'll see.
We'll
communication.
see.
yes.
Yeah, people
We
It's
just
will
have to
okay.
see.
learn to communicate. We as a people in general do not know how to communicate with each other. And it's getting even worse because we're not talking to each other. We're talking to each
Mhm.
other through a phone, through the computer, through a game. We're not interacting with humans. So we don't know how to have these higher conversations, right?
Right.
And we're falling in love through a computer screen.
Hmm.
So if I'm not even sure you real, how I'm gonna
Mhm.
start asking you about your money?
Right.
How I'm gonna
Right.
start asking you about your past sexual history? How? I don't even
Yeah.
know who I'm talking to. And I think Lady Bird said it. AI ain't got so good. I don't even know the videos I be watching if it's actually really happening.
Hmm.
Like
Nope.
I be like, is this real? Like they didn't got real good with these videos. So I'm like, you don't listen, y'all. We got to
Yeah.
talk. We got to listen.
It's bad.
Yeah.
It's scary.
People.
It's deep.
Yeah. People are definitely not taking the time to get to know, to really get to know the person. They're hopping in bed the same night they meet or whatever, and you haven't even gotten to know this person. You haven't gotten to know this person, like you said, their status, their
Sexual
sexual
history,
history.
anything.
You haven't gotten to know their finances, their family. So
They could be a murderer. Listen, all
Man.
these women going missing.
Jeffrey
Why?
Dahmer.
Listen,
You could have got the broke brother. You was supposed to get the rich one. You done got the broke one, and everybody in the family know it. You gotta wait.
yeah.
and not even
Yeah.
that, you realize that it's so many questions, and I know it's probably always been like that, but like literally you got to pull out an application for people now. There are so many things you have to ask a person before you do anything. Listen, were you born? The person that I'm looking at, what is your HIV status? Do you have any baby mamas? How much debt do you got? Is anybody looking to kill you? Are you a killer?
Yep.
You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Are you a woman beater? Are you a man beater? You know, there is so many, it's exhausting. This is why I'm single. This is why I'm single.
But you got to though. and
That's
that
exactly that's why she's single too.
sucks.
Yeah, it's exhausting. It's just, oh
Yeah.
my God, thinking about it making my head hurt. So
Yeah.
God bless y'all, ma'am, for being married. God bless those in my group here that got partners, and those watching. God bless y'all. But for me, it's too exhausting. I don't got
Yeah.
energy anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, let me get Dawn a little chocolate medicine. She needs some chocolate right now. The calm her down a little bit. So we gonna go into our sexy man of the week. They don't. Yo, I think y'all do know who it is, and I got a little chest action for you. Too.
Oh my gosh,
You
it's
know,
my husband,
little
y'all.
chest action.
My second one.
Yes, look at him.
Oh, here it comes. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I love me some Idris.
All that chocolate. All that chocolate. Now I see why K. Michelle wrote that whole album about that man. He had her gone crazy.
Listen, now him, I might not ask all them questions. Come on.
Asking all the questions.
Not you gonna avoid. Now he ain't got to answer all the
I'm
questions.
crying. Now he get a fast pass.
Right.
Oh my
And
goodness.
listen, so don't look. This is Sir. Okay, let's make sure we put the Sir in there because he has been
Yes.
coined as a Sir. Idris Elba. He's an English actor, a DJ, and a rapper. And I love his music too. I love when I hear him.
Yeah, I didn't even know he
He
was.
has received a Golden Globe Award, as well as nominated for 3 BFTA awards and 6 Emmy awards. He was named in the Time 100 list of the most influential people in the world in 2016. His films have grossed over 9.8 billion at the global box office, making him one of the top 20 highest grossing actors. In 2025, Idris Elba was named as the UK's 9th most influential Black persons in the 2026 Power List. Yes, he is. And I love his movies. He does like any movie he's in, I'ma watch it. I don't care if he's talking in his English accent, if he's talking in American accent, I'ma
Count
watch
me in.
it. And he is aging gracefully, I must say, because he is 53 years old. Okay,
53 where?
and
Ugh.
right,
Black do not crack, baby.
it don't
That's
crack.
true.
We
That
not
is
cracking.
true.
Not at
That
all.
is
Oh,
true.
wow.
Yes, but
I'm gonna sleep.
yes,
You
but
see how
this
just a
is
little nipple showing, Renee? You is wrong for this. Good Lord.
well. See, cause see now this one here is this a teaser. Cause we're gonna do another picture on Wednesday, and the other picture gonna be, I got to give you a little bit now. Y'all of it. I can't just do it.
And then he got that accent too. Ooh, Lord, just make it.
It's the accent for me. Oh my gosh, it's the rough voice.
And I can't do that. I can't do the accent for nothing. I can't speak with a London accent to save my life. Child.
That's one thing I will say.
Can't
This
do it.
I used to be weak in the knees for a Caribbean man. Didn't know what the hell they was saying when I used to go visit my dad in
Jesus.
Toronto. But it just sounded so good.
Me with Jamaicans. Oh my goodness. Oh, good Lord.
Mess around and get your groove back like Stella.
Love me a
Lord
Jamaican,
Jesus.
honey.
I know. Man, don't ask. Yeah, that Jamaican accent will have you going a little local. All right, so up next, look, we have our new music alert. So I was literally the other day I was listening to I know everybody have Apple Music and Spotify and all these. I like Pandora. I still listen to Pandora music.
Me too.
Because I love it. I pay for it every month. I just love it. It's my go-to. And I was listening to one of the stations, I think it was like Kalani or somebody station, and this song by Ari Lennox popped up. And I was like, oh, let me listen to this. This new. And so I went and researched, and this is a new song. I think it came out maybe 2 or 3 months ago. And it's called Under the Moon. And she has a video for it. Let me tell you. I watched the video. The video is on YouTube. It's so cute because it's like one of those videos. If you listen to the lyrics and she's talking about Under the Moon, the lyrics are, kind of that romantic kind of stuff. But the video puts you in the mind of one of those like what's that movie with the vampires and the werewolves? Breaking Dawn,
Twilight.
Twilight.
Oh, okay.
It gives you kind of like a Twilight vibe because like she met this man and they having lunch and then all of a sudden the moon pop out and his little claws come out and it's like, oh, wait a minute. It's one of those videos that make you watch it. We haven't had many videos like that in a while that make you really want to sit and watch a music video.
Right.
But the song is really, really cute. I love it. She's actually on tour right now also. But just a little bit about Ari Lennox. She's an American R&B singer and songwriter. She's from DC. She signed with J. Cole's Dreamville Records. And she became the label's first female artist in 2015. She's a 34-year-old singer and she's doing amazing. I love her music because she kind of puts me, some of her songs give that like neo soul vibe a little bit. It's a nice R&B. Like I miss that type of R&B music. And her voice is amazing. Oh my god.
Absolutely amazing.
So amazing.
Yeah.
Yes. I feel like she's one of the ones, like people listen to her and they gravitate to her music, but there are so many other people I feel like haven't heard her music that need to hear it. Absolutely. So when you get a chance, go and listen to that. That's Ari Lennox and the song is called Under the Moon. All right. So next week, we are going to do another entrepreneur spotlight. So if you are an entrepreneur and you have a business as a Black woman, we would love to spotlight you on our show. So you can tag in the comments. You can post in the comments. You can send me an email, a message, whatever option it is you want to do. We would love to highlight your business. Last week, we had the Wealthy Witch on here. And she was talking about her business ventures and things like that. And so we want to bring you on and allow you to do the same thing. So whether you have a business, whether you have products, like if it's products, if it's a service, whatever it is that you provide, if it's a nonprofit that you want to highlight, we would love for you to come on and we would love to spotlight that. So please reach out. I do have my list is growing. Okay. The list is definitely growing because every time we make this announcement, we get more people that I am adding to that list. So make sure you get counted into the number of entrepreneurs so that we can spotlight you. Our email is onehourgirlstalk@gmail.com. One is spelled out, ONE. And we also have our 1 Hours Girls Talk Facebook page. We have a YouTube channel that you can go and follow. And like I said, you can message me on any way you want to reach out, whether it's email, through Facebook, through the 1 Hour Girls Talk page, however it is, reach out and then nominate or put yourself in the comments and we'll see it. Okay. We'll see it. Absolutely. So I feel like this was a great show. I learned some
Oh
things
yeah.
too when it comes to just it made me think of some things because Sonny got me over here wanting a vending machine. Like, girl, I ain't even thought about no vending machine. You know what I've been thinking about? I one day I was sitting in the line at Chick-fil-A and they had a sign stuck in the drive-thru line that said this Chick-fil-A serves over this amount of people in one day. It was like over 1 million people. I was like, what the heck? And so think about it. If they serving that many people and you already know how much the food costs. Oh, you're making how much? Oh, okay. I need a franchise. So I honestly have been looking at Chick-fil-A franchises since at least 2012.
Mm.
I already know how much it costs. I already know what you got to do. I'm just waiting on the right opportunity to do it. But now Sonny got me over here thinking about vending machines and eyelashes.
I'm
Oh,
happy.
yeah.
Yeah, I can wrote
Because
it down so I don't forget. I
Mhm.
heard somebody else talk about that, but it didn't like. But yeah,
It's a great business. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm super excited.
yeah, and
And
then Missy
I'm
Red
gonna
was
try to
talking about
push like healthy
the
snacks as
hair
well
stuff.
in my vending machines because I've seen some with like pears and apples and then you got to stay really really on top of them because there's produce involved. But if not that, just like healthier baked snacks, things like that, like just on the health conscious side, but still something you want to snack on. So that's something when you do that, you
Yeah.
get creative and whatever it costs to you.
Right.
You know.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I even seen like Miss Yvette was talking about her hair stores and things. I've seen vending machines that sell hair. You go to the
Mm-hmm.
vending
Oh
machine, pick
yes.
out you a pack of hair, and you ain't even gotta go to
Yeah.
the hair store. The hair store closed, go to the vending machine, And I
Exactly.
think that's even a good idea to even like say some hair stores, on Sundays they usually close like 5 or 6 p.m. or earlier.
Mhm.
They could probably put a vending machine outside the hair store. Of course, make sure nobody can't steal it. And that
Right.
way people can access hair when the
Keep
hair store is
going.
closed.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that's a good idea. Maybe hold on. Don't
Mm-hmm.
nobody take that. Don't
Write
take
that down.
that
Write
idea.
that down.
Right. All right. Any closing remarks you guys want to add?
I would say for those that are thinking of going into entrepreneurship, make sure you have a plan. Um, First and foremost, have a plan and try to seek finances. It's called um, uh, other people's money, OPM. Try to get loans. Make sure your credit is good. Make sure that you have an LLC. Um, have everything in order before you just leap out and open that business.
Yeah. Very
I
true.
agree.
just when we talked about finances and getting into a marriage or a relationship with somebody, and even into just a partnership, just make sure that we're having conversations,
Mhm.
right? Taking that time to have these very important and sometimes hard conversations before we make these very critical decisions. Because in the end, not having these conversations can be a detriment to so many different areas, right? Your finances, your physical, your mental, your emotional. So take the time to really get to
Yeah.
know a person and ask those hard questions before you dive into something. And it just will be the best outcome for yourself and even for them, because when you really start talking and learning somebody, they may decide that they don't like you either.
Mhm.
So, let's just start communicating, talking to each other as humans,
Yeah.
not talking always through phones and
Right.
computer screens and games. Go out and have a cup of coffee with somebody.
Mm.
Go walk the park. Go outside together. Get out the house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. When it starts
Yeah.
when it starts snowing, go outside. Oh, no, I'm not walking. It's too cold. I'm gonna wait till it warm up a little when I start.
Well, you know, I go to the mall. You can go to the mall and walk around the mall.
Duh.
Look,
She got
Yep,
something for
okay.
everybody. She don't want to
Now
hear
she
it.
want to put me on. Now she want to put me on the elderly patrol where I go walk the mall with all the elderly. You know, they go in there while the mall's still closed and start walking. Man.
Oh my goodness.
But no, you are right. You're right. And Miss Yvette, yes, make sure you guys get LLCs. That is very important for your business.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Save
get a
and budget
website,
and
man.
all that stuff. Get a website. Yeah, you know,
Mhm.
it's multiple things.
Yeah.
Look into some things, and if it's on your mind, try to explore it. That's something else I say.
And it's not hard. I think people make being a business owner harder than it is. It's
Yeah.
not hard. Once you learn the ins and outs of what it is your business is going to be, that's what makes it really flow and makes
Yeah.
it a smooth transition into being a business owner.
And it's definitely not
All right,
hard.
you guys.
If it's your passion, it is definitely not hard.
Right, absolutely.
Yeah.
That's the key word, passion.
Mhm.
The word for the night is passion.
Yes.
All right, you guys, we are gonna get out of here for the night. I thank you, ladies, again so much for an awesome show.
Thank
And thanks for
you.
everybody. Hey Joe. Hey, I saw Malik in the chat. We had John Burgess, who she thought was my daddy. That's probably a relative, Don. I have so many relatives and they follow me, and I'm still learning relatives and things. Like my Burgess is so deep. Burgess is a deep name. I have Burgess that are black, white, all kind of nationalities. Trust me. We had who else we had in the chat? We had Lavita, we had Sharmina,
Joe
we had
Burnett.
our regular Carmen and Rita. Was it Rita? Yep, we had Rita. I saw my friend Christopher Aaron Smith. I'm always doxing him.
I saw Renee. Renee, hey girl, if you still here.
Oh yeah, I did. So shout out to everybody. Thanks for your input. Thanks for chatting with us tonight. And we will see you on Wednesday with some new topics. Again, don't forget this week is still all about career and money. Until next time, we are out of here.
Good night.
Peace. God bless.